are here with two of the masterminds behind the Brain Trust. That is Local Favorite Productions. I'm Mark Borison, Holland Rains. Thank you guys so much for joining us today.
Yep.
We are going to be showing your film here in a few minutes, and I'm really excited because this is personally one of my favorite films, period, right now, anywhere, because it's locally based in Cincinnati, but I won't tell too much about it. I'll let you guys give a little preview.
Yeah, just wanted to make sure that we warned everybody about the 1% of the chili elite before we go in. A little conspiracy thriller cooked up by Holland and I here for the 48-hour film project. So our first attempt working together in narrative. We do commercial video stuff together. So this is our first attempt. We've always wanted to go the
really
filmmaker.
Doing a short film together is like a unit.
A unit, an absolute unit. We're in awe at the size of our lads.
So when did you guys start working together with the commercial stuff?
Is it 2016?
Yep.
I think so, yeah.
That's when I started interning at the company we both work at.
Yeah.
And then,
we forced you into staying with us now. It's been a few years, so yeah, it's been really great though. Like, you know, it's one of those things that I have always wanted to find a cool producing partner just in general, and we hit it off pretty quickly. And then after that, it was like, oh, we've got all these ideas, and now it's just really interesting because my whole life I've just wanted somebody that I really connected with in that regard, and it was so tough, you know. I mean, and Holland was that first person, so thank you. I don't say it publicly now in front of people, so there's audio. So that later, if our relationship fails, I can play this clip, you know, and then we'll make a documentary about it.
Violin music. That's awesome. So going into watching the movie, it's shot very well. I'm going to go ahead and tell people that now. But
thank you.
What kind of equipment did you guys use? You know, this was part of the 48-hour film festival, so you had time constraints. How much of a challenge was this film for you guys to make?
I'll let you say that.
Honestly, I didn't find it as challenging. I've done 48 hour before, and that was definitely challenging, mostly because I was working with a team of people I didn't know.
Gotcha.
And in this case, we all knew each other. We planned everything Friday. You know, everything just kind of really fell into place.
That's cool.
And obviously, since there was a 2-day shoot, you know, some things fell through, but obviously we finished the piece and came out pretty good. So.
Oh yeah, you know, we had those little funny moments where I think Friday was really the only really particularly terrifying day, because we had that moment where
trying
we
to
were
write
like,
a script and then
and we're like, all right, 2 o'clock, it's done, and then we're like, this isn't good. So then there's Holland and I in my living room while
2 a.m.
While the mechanic sleeps in the couch who's there to help us write.
Stripped away 3 pages, started rewriting, and 5 a.m. we had a completed script.
Started shooting at noon the next day.
Yeah.
And I think everything else went pretty smooth. As far as gear, you mentioned, our cinematographer was shooting on, was it a GH4, the Lumix?
I think so, yeah. I
believe
knew it was
so.
a Lumix.
Yeah. And then we also we had a couple of shots, we used a Mavic Pro drone from DJI as well, so for a few of the drone shots. I think that was it, because we stayed on the GH4 the whole time.
Awesome. Well, fantastic.
Yeah, thank you.
Now we know what we're shot with. Now it's time to watch the movie. Chilluminati, everybody. Local Favorite Productions. One of my favorites.
Damn it, I forgot plates. They never give you plates unless you ask. Listen, man, I love you, and I know we've been friends forever, but I was kind of hoping, since you're in your outfit, that maybe we could have worked on my car today instead of just, I don't know, eating cheese conies.
Sorry, man. At least the conies are great.
Yeah, they are pretty good.
Cincinnati loves their chili. Did you know that there are over 250 Cincinnati chili places here?
Really?
Yeah. Locals love it, but some people don't even consider it real chili.
Wow. You know an awful lot about chili for being a mechanic. I'm gonna go ahead and take that as a no on working on my car today. So much for the Michael Runyon keeps it Runyon guarantee, huh, Mikey?
Listen, man, there's something I wanted to talk to you about. There's this chili conspiracy. I think that Skystar and Goldline are part of a citywide conspiracy ran by the mayor, silencing anyone trying to expose their secrets. I've been doing all this research.
Wait, is this like when we were 7 and you told me your dad was the king of Nintendo? They're not a monarchy.
They are kidnapping people every day to cover up their shady business
Mike,
deals.
I don't think this... Okay, tell you what, let's go work on my car. That's real.
Oh, yeah. Well, it's always tomorrow. Frisbee?
Damn it. It's a terrible throw. Help! Mike! Sorry.
Looks like they got your friend, too.
How'd you know he was my best friend?
Yep, just as I expected. Detective Hard Boiled, come with me. Been working the Runyon case for a long time. We'll take your car.
Okay. I think he's here.
Where to, boys? You like chili? Did you know Goldline Chili moves 20,000 barrels of blood from their facilities daily?
This is what you wanted to show me? It looks like you've been working on a Bulgarian snuff film.
One man's treasure is another man's snuff film. Here, take a look at this. This guy right here, frequent customer of Sky Star Chili. Now he's dead. This woman here, Goldline Chili was her favorite thing in the entire world. She's dead now too.
High cholesterol, it makes sense.
Now, what I think is that they and Michael uncovered the truth. These 5 points on the map are where the last 5 missing people were found in basements.
You're hearing this too, right? This is all real crazy. Are you sure you might not be drawing conclusions where there are none?
Look closer.
What's a chili toast?
Chili plus toast.
My God. Chili for breakfast? That sounds good.
And that is how they get you. Pay attention. Look at the facts. First, it's the beef. They slaughter 75,000 cows daily. The math doesn't add up.
Yeah, the math doesn't add up because you just made it up. This is real dumb.
This goes all the way to the top, man. All the way to the top. Yeah, well, okay, get this. How about the 20,000 barrels of blood that they move weekly?
Yeah, and they don't even process meat at their facility. I don't find that weird. I don't want blood in my chili either.
They're probably torturing him right now. Have you ever seen what chili blood does to a man?
I never asked for this!
You can't stay woke with your eyes closed. What's wrong? I think it's time for a smoke break.
Use something to eat.
Ooh, crackers.
Oh my God.
Detective!
Well, this has got to be the place. Red and blue are Sky Star and Goldline colors. Are you ready for this?
Nope.
Mark! No, wait, no, don't come down here, you! Oh my God!
It's not the beef!
Mike! It's okay.
Mark, you gotta get me out of here. They'll be back any minute. They went to go get more cheese coney.
Are you lighting a victory cigarette before we figure out how we get him out of here? Come on!
Thanks, dude. I hope you learned your lesson today. Conspiracy theories can be dangerous. They're based in half-truths, and honestly, man, they're just a way for really dumb people to pretend to be really smart people. So.
Yeah, but the mayor was running a secret chili-based crime organization.
I think we should call them the Chilluminati.
The case is solved.
Or is it solved?
Or is it solved?
It might go higher than
That's the
this.
question.
There could be a grader's truth, tying other Cincinnati purveyors into this.
That'd be amazing.
Gotta make it global, man.
So where did this idea stem from, guys? It's so
the New World Order.
Yeah.
I actually, so years ago, a buddy of mine and I always joked that there was a Cincinnati chili mafia. It was just this little runaway joke, and it was all because I'm not from Cincinnati originally, and when I came here, I didn't understand that there were multiple restaurants that sold the exact same product that was marginally different. But then there's like this cultural war that's occurring constantly in Cincinnati over chili, and I always joked, I was like, this is so weird. I bet that these two companies are secretly owned by one person who created the two businesses in order to drive competition for a product that otherwise has no market.
It's genius.
And I really ran with that. And so when we went that night, I'll never forget, we went in there and we drew our genre, and it was like, the options, what do we get, mystery or romance, right?
Yeah.
And as soon as he saw mystery, we're just sitting there for a second, and he and I just had this like instant moment of like, the chili conspiracy thing here. So we obviously went like a totally different way with it, but it was, it was one of those where we're like, oh, we should do something about that finally, because for years it's just been like a silly little Facebook joke. I'm like, oh, the chili mafia.
Right.
And then from here we were like, we could actually write something out of this like silly little throwaway joke. So.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that was fun.
That's too cool. I got to say, my favorite part is when he holds that oyster cracker up, and it all just comes together for him. So a lot of it kind of seems like that 40 style private investigator, we're going to get down to the bottom of this. Is that kind of where it stemmed from? I want to see where that character came from.
A little bit, yeah. I mean, like once we got mystery, and like obviously Mark and I are funny guys. We try to add like a level of humor into everything we do. So we didn't want to go full-blown mystery. We didn't want to take ourselves too seriously, and we're a big fan of like pulpy noir stuff. Anything that's pulpy is right up our alleys. So we decided to just go full 100% with it.
Right.
And
it worked.
Fun.
You said something awesome when we were prepping for the 48 Hour in advance when we first signed up. And like I said, this is my first foray jumping into any of this as far as on a production side.
Right, absolutely.
And Holland made this big point where he's like, the key is we have to make something fun.
Yeah.
Because we felt fairly confident as far as technical proficiency, and like I'm like a bit of a maniac in that I was like, hey, we need to make sure that everybody we have we can trust, because every time I've tried to do 48 Hour in the past, nobody shows up, and then I'm like, oh cool, I guess I'm just gonna do a movie entirely by myself. But you can see my face, that's exactly the feeling. Like you can feel you're probably sweating now.
Yeah.
No, it was fun when he kept saying fun. And then it was funny because I think we took that too to heart, and that was the problem with the first version of the script. It was like so absurd, and
it was like an Adult Swim sketch.
Was it really? Okay, gotcha.
Yeah. Whereas now, I feel like now it really is it's a little less Adult Swimmy, but at the same time, I'm happy about it.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
I thought it came out great. I've always, like I said, I've always wanted to do this, and the opportunity to be able to do something fun like this was just so cool.
Yeah, absolutely. And to hear that this was your first time kind of going into a narrative like that, you and Holland both.
Yeah.
It's amazing, because it kind of gives hope to more filmmakers out there that want to start.
Oh yeah, well, I mean, we got picked up for the Independent Film Festival happening here in Cincinnati in a couple weeks, which is huge, the end of August. So I'm incredibly excited about that. Now
absolutely.
I told him, I'm just like, all right, there's a fire under me right now, so I'm going to be that guy. Like, let's go. What's the next thing? So we've got a few little projects cooking up right now that I'm really excited about. The big one, which I don't even want to say anything about aside from a little familial drama. And
how do we stay up to date with you guys to find out?
How do we stab?
No.
I was like, what? I was like, this just took an interesting turn. How do we stab you guys and find out? I was like, I don't know, like you're stabbing someone's like a mattress.
Stay up to date.
Stay up to date. Oh,
yes, all local
Facebook?
Yeah, I think Facebook's probably the best place.
There's a Local Favorite Productions Facebook page. I don't know what the / would be.
Actually, I'm pretty sure it's just facebook.com/Local Favorite Productions. If you find it, you'll find us on there. There's Copy Chilluminati on there, the poster. If you like really absurd stuff, and if you're into the, how should I put it, NSFW, not safe for work end of things, you can also find the page The Mark, which is facebook.com/The Mark Show. That's usually we put our more risque stuff. It's like the stuff I don't really want my last name on, so I get less angry messages from my relatives.
Absolutely. Well, cool. Alrighty, guys. Yeah. Well,
thank you for the opportunity, Brendan.
Absolutely.
Seriously, this is great.
Thank you guys for coming in.
A pleasure.
Now the world knows how much we care about chili.
The world knows.
Cincinnati.
Beware the chili elite.
Beware. Remember not to get chili boarded. Thank you again, guys. Local Favorite Productions.
Thanks, Brendan.
TBNK. Once again, this is Brendan Davis, and I'm here, very special treat today, actually, because I'm a huge fan of this film, Polkit, a Cat, filmmakers of Dance of Fury from the 48 Hour Film Festival. Again, it's like we're just having a 48 Hour Film Festival special on this show, but huge to have you guys in studio today. I was a big fan of your guys' film. Before we go into the film or anything like that, tell me a little bit about yourselves. How long have you guys been filmmaking?
Thank you for having us, Brandon.
Absolutely.
I'm from India. I came here for engineering and then slowly started working into filmmaking just because that's what I like to do. I like photography and filmmaking, so we met up in one of the 48-hour film festivals. That was my first film festival and his first festival, and then that's how we started working together, and we did a lot of side projects other than 48-hour film festival and just learned through that.
Yeah, that's fantastic. When was you guys' kind of first project together? Was it that first?
Yeah, 3 years ago. So
that was 2016.
Yeah.
Fantastic. All right, awesome. Yeah. So you directed the film, correct?
That's right.
And both you guys kind of conceptually created it, but
right.
You acted in it as well. So that's fantastic. Heading into this, what can the audience expect to see out of this film?
So this is a very strong, emotional film about the story of a woman and domestic violence, but we didn't want to show it like very brutal, and we wanted to make it very beautiful, so we can show something very serious but not showing all the bad things associated with it. So we found this actress who was in the movie, and when I was talking to her, she told me about the dance she does. So that's an Indian classical form of dance, and then that was something we had in the back of the mind, and then when we started working on the concept and brainstorming for the idea based on the theme that we had, so we had martial arts as one of the genre that we had to choose. So I think we just came with it. Mostly it was Aniket's idea, and then we started like working around it, how to go around with that.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Perfect. So it's basically your idea. Where did it stem from? Was it kind of personal issues, anything like that?
No, nothing from personal issues, but definitely social issues, not only in India, but around the world. We keep hearing news, domestic violence, women empowerment and whatnot. Right. So it's a 48-hour competition, so we did not really go with the mindset, but when we got the genre of fighting and whatnot.
Yeah.
So like, okay, so this is a good concept, and she knows dance. So why don't we combine both of them? And we have some good locations, and we have some neat ideas.
Right.
Let's do that.
That's fantastic.
So I think that just stemmed from my inclination towards creative writing and acting.
Awesome. Well, awesome. Yeah. That's perfect. Yeah. Awesome background heading into this. Let's go ahead and watch it, and we'll kind of go over it after we're done. So.
Right. Yeah.
Man, this movie's tomorrow.
Very, very powerful stuff. And I was talking to them earlier about this. A lot of the 48-Hour Film Festival is lighthearted. You know, it's comedy.
Yeah.
Before we go into the story so much, I do want to talk about the cinematography as well, the lighting, and especially during the dance scenes.
Yeah.
What kind of inspired that? What gave you that idea to add that?
So we were discussing about how we wanted to do it, and we wanted to declutter everything and just focus on the dance form, make it as beautiful as we can. So we're working in this house, and this basement had a very beautiful white wall and had all these lights installed. We didn't know how they would work, so we had another concept of having a black wall and a white wall, and being at the center of that and just shooting through that, showing the movement from black white. So just figuratively showing the movement of the woman from being abused and then coming out strong. So, but then we somehow found how to work around those lights, and then we were really, really happy about it. So we just made sure, like, if we get the right colors, just to inspire that give it a little more feminism kind of a feel from the look, and then just go about that.
Yeah, the tone, you can tell, is just very powerful.
Yes.
It's very vivid, very vibrant all the way through. And while she's dancing, you get that empowerment sense that this is her at her core. That's fantastic. As an actor, that's not an ideal. When you want to be an actor, you're not thinking, I want to be that. That's not what you're expecting. But it's also a very powerful role. It was needed for the film. How was that as an actor?
It was pretty neat to be an abusive husband because so many people hated me to do that.
Right.
So I remember when this movie was screened, and one of the women came out and said, "I wish she would have thrashed you." And I was like, that's the best compliment for my acting.
Right.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, that's huge. Kind of going back to, you created a little bit of the story. Did you have to do a little bit of research? Any particular stories, any specific examples to kind of bring that forward?
No, actually, this concept was so general in its own. We didn't have to go to a particular story.
Right.
Obviously, as you grow up and listen or read stories around, you definitely see some domestic violence here and there. So it was just an experience, just an observation.
Yeah.
Just put that.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
I think the most powerful thing about this movie is there's no dialogue, but you have a pulse on the characters the whole time, which is huge. How did you kind of establish that?
So I think, we make a lot of films together, and this was definitely one of the things we always wanted to do, like make a kind of a silent film. And again, I think it all just happened within the whole conceptualization of the movie. We felt like when you add dialogues, it takes you away from that feel, right? And then the focus is more on how the story progresses based on the dialogues, right? So if he said something, then what did she say? And so we wanted to get rid of that and just show it in form as an art form, and just show it and let the audience feel it, rather than have them like understand, oh, he said something, she said something, and then they're fighting. So just let them go through it, and that's how we wanted to do it. We did had some like fighting scenes where we kind of had to make a decision: do we want like that chatter or fighting audio or not? But we ended up like going without any audio in that, just to keep the audience in, like, not break their concentration on the whole music and the flow of the movie.
Right. I think that was definitely the wisest decision. And it turned out
great. I
great.
remember one time we were discussing, like, instead of making a film, make it an experience.
Yeah, and it was.
That's exactly what we did.
Yeah, it definitely was. And out of that whole screening, there's 8 films that were viewed. I did not leave that theater thinking about many, and this is one of the ones that just made you think. And going back to what I said at the very beginning, everybody chooses humor. It's almost like a little bit of a cop-out when it comes to the short film genre. But you guys went straight dramatic, straight emotion, straight powerful. Was there any reason for that?
I think, again, when we try to brainstorm, we always somehow end up picking up serious topics, because as filmmakers, we feel like if we can show something, we can convey something through our filmmaking, which is like you give the message and not make them like you're teaching them something. I think that's very important as filmmakers, just to, if you can do something good and send a message across. So even for our last 48-hour film festival. We made a movie about the war and a gay couple. So we always like to touch sensitive topics, and that's always something in the back of the mind. If how we can use this movie or this screen time that audience is investing in to just show them something which they might have not thought of so thoroughly, or just give them a new perspective on this.
Definitely.
And like even one of the more recent movies that we did had a beautiful poem which Aniket wrote, and it's about a monk or a guy who just like leaves all the worldly pleasures and all that stuff. So it's we always like to touch all the sensitive topics.
That's good. And we always make sure when it comes to writing and brainstorming about script that it comes natural.
Right.
Like nothing should be dramatic
Right.
or over dramatic.
Gotcha.
It should come out of your heart.
That's very, it's beautiful.
Yeah.
And you set out to make a beautiful film, and I think you did. So thank you so much for being a part of this today. Dance Fury, fantastic. Glad we're able to share it with the world. How can we stay up to date with Pulkit Productions and see what's coming next for you?
I think the YouTube page is the best option. Just go to Pulkit Verma on YouTube, and you can see all the stuff we have worked on.
Awesome.
Don't go to very old stuff just because you're learning a lot of stuff.
Right,
amateur stuff. You'll find some of that.
Yeah. Watch a couple of more recent ones, and then I think you'll be happy with that stuff.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, gentlemen, so much for joining us today. Very honored to be able to interview you. Beautiful film, and I can't wait to see what comes next from you.
Thank you, Brandon.
Fantastic. Thank you, guys.
All right. Thank you so much.
Awesome.